so much. I trust you've been well.
Yeah, it's been well. 2026 has begun well. Yeah, we thank God. Thank God, yes.
Fantastic. It's really turning out to be a good year, an interesting year.
Yeah.
And building on to the topic that we want to handle this in terms of how do you take the lead? When do you know that it's time from your corporate job?
Yeah.
You know, the warmth, the comfort. And I know you've tasted this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've discussed in your accounting days.
That's right.
So probably we can start from how was that like? What were you doing? And as we move into, when did you know that it was time?
Yeah. I think for me, I wanted to be an entrepreneur when I was young. Business is something I've really liked. And my dad was an entrepreneur. My dad was a mechanical engineer. So he had a garage which I really liked. And every time he used to say, I'm going to work. And I used to wonder, what is this work? Because he never used to take leave. What is this kind of work that there is no leave, it doesn't end? And I felt like just to understand more, I wanted to understand much more what my dad does. And I think intuitively, I began to understand about business even before I knew what business was about. And then I could pay a visit to my dad's place of work. And I could see people coming to the place of work, they are talking with him, he's there doing his cars and all those things. And I got interested in all that. But again, when I got into work, he was very serious when it came to books, and he said, no, you guys go to study. So I ended up doing business, doing CPA, doing BCom. But I never knew when to be ready. Because again, there are several ways of transitioning. There are those who, one, they'll never get a job because you just left campus. Look for a job, that job is not coming, right? So you end up saying, okay, let me start something. You start selling some vegetables. And before you know, those vegetables and those viazi or potatoes become your business. And that grows into business. There's that class of people. There are that class of people where they lose their job, and now they're looking for another job. They don't get it. Or they lose their job and get into business immediately. But the others who, they have a very stable job. They actually don't even think of being into business. But now time comes when there's pressure for maybe the pressure in terms of work. The work is too much. And you're feeling like, I've grown this. How can I move from this job? Or they have always wanted to be in business and they're having a very good job. And the question begins, so when do I step out? Because you've been there, you love the job. Maybe it's paying you very well, you're comfortable. And it's like having your Subaru, and you're enjoying your Subaru, you know? When a young man likes Subarus, you're enjoying your Subaru. And now someone is telling you there's a better car. You're thinking like, how? So now you get to that point and you say, I want to change to a better thing, but don't know exactly how to change or transition to that other thing. That's why I think there's much planning. So I don't know which one you may want us to talk about. Because again, those are 4 ways of transitioning business.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I know we'll definitely come into that. And I'd like us to look into systems thinking. From moving from being part of a system to now building the system. You know, when you're in the corporate world, you're really part of a system.
Correct.
Where most of the decisions are either handed or you're part of a decision. But when you're building yours, you become the decision maker. You become the one who is building the system.
Exactly.
And probably just before we get into that, talk to us a little bit about some of the things you've done, because I know some of the people who could be listening to us have never met and interacted with Charles.
Yeah, thanks, Titus. When I got into doing business, I have done several things before I landed what I'm doing right now. Basically, right now, I'm in the energy sector. And in the program that we're doing right now in the energy sector is the energy project that we are working right now. But before I got into energy projects, I did so many other businesses. I've done printing. In fact, the first business I can think about which I did was printing. It was printing. I did also media. And I did media. Like what my father is doing, my company is called Concept House Communications, and we're doing communications. And I remember very well those years when we had IWF coming to Kenya. We got a contract by that team to set for them the media house in Mombasa. But we didn't have enough money. At the time we went to Barclays Bank to get some money, and Barclays Bank never gave us the money we wanted at the time. And then we got a lot of struggles trying to see how to fund that business. So it never kind of went anywhere because we got a lot of challenges because we didn't have enough working capital. But again, I've sold vegetables. I used to have a Coca-Cola shop. I used to sell milk and bread for quite some time, right? And then I combined with vegetables like sukuma wiki, spinach, and all that. I used to go to Marikiti in the morning at 5 a.m. in the morning, buy some sukuma wiki and come and sell in the morning. And that business is very good. Selling bananas, it's a very good business, by the way. Making very good money. Yeah, it's very nice because you could make even up to 100% in terms of profit. The only challenge is the scalability of it because you have a kiosk, so it's not it's not quite scalable. But if you can scale up that business, it's quite big. The mama burgers, the only thing they don't have is a way of scaling it up. But if that can be scaled, it's a very good business. I've tested it, it's good. We used to make profits of around 15,000 shillings a day. Profit, yeah. Yeah, selling bananas and spinach. What's spinach? From, what do you call this place? From Toy Market and from Wakulima Market. Make some good profits. Yeah, but after that, then I thought about how do you scale this? So I went to sell potatoes. So I used to sell potatoes to the city. I used to supply some potatoes for some of the hotels in Nairobi. And then after some time, I thought, okay, let's scale this potatoes thing. So I began to take potatoes from Narok all the way to Mombasa. So I could do 200 bags at once to Mombasa. But again, I learned, I never did a very good marketing research on how to handle that. So I learned that there were some gatekeepers. If you saw something in Wakulima Market, you know what I'm talking about. Wakulima Market has its own gatekeepers. And there was a casualty. I remember we supplied 2 trucks. And the first truck, those guys kept on saying, no, we've got to sell the potatoes for you. You are not allowed to go and sell the potatoes directly. Those brokers. We're going to sell for you. To date, there is money have never paid us. To date, those are like 10 years. 10 years.
Their prospects of being paid.
No, that's a bad debt. It's already written off in the books. It's gone. So we never did much research. But remember, that will teach me how to become resilient in business. Because sometimes the business you start with, it is not a good thing to do guesswork, right? It's good to get it right the first time. However, this taught me how to be money-wise. This taught me how to be money-wise, also to be resilient, and not to trust people. Because as you start, sometimes you trust people, you trust their system, because it's not a system you're doing. So that trusting of other people's system, which you're not in control, then a time comes to eat you up. And I think I was a casualty of that. And then from there, now I got into what I'm doing right now in the energy sector. And we found what our company is the second largest in terms of energy production in the country. And we are happy today on what you're doing. Yes.
Fantastic. And it's interesting that you say that because there's a pattern I see in the ideas that you've been building on and in the businesses you've been on. In some way, there's been an element of scalability. So you're moving from Skuma into a market, you're going to Viazis in Narok and wherever.
Yes.
So in aspects, you're growing in leaps and beats, up to when you're supplying energy to a country. So talk to us a little bit about this journey. How do you make sure that you're constantly building beyond the struggle, beyond the challenges, and that your vision is growing up to when you're building at scale, and your gift in essence is being felt by the masses.
Good. I'll mention 2 things, Titus. Number 1, I get to the Bible. God speaks to Abraham, and asked Abraham, and tells Abraham, as far as your eyes can see, that land you see, I've given to you as inheritance. So it all begins there. Vision. God was telling Abraham, look, what vision do you have? Because it's sight, it's an issue of seeing. Why do you want to go? So God is telling Abraham, if you cannot see it, you're not going to have it. And the human nature is one that has to see. If you can't see it, you cannot conceptualize it. And that's why we read books. Because when you're reading a book, you conceptualize what the writer is writing in the book. When you see something, you conceptualize it. When you came into this building, you saw what the building looks like. You conceptualize it. So the human mind is a mind that forms what they see. So the first thing was vision. So vision in terms of where do you want to go? So I learned where I wanted to go. When I was young, I kept on saying, I'll be a great man. I was young, but I was saying, I will be a great guy. I hated poverty when I was growing up because there are things I could see, and we are not having it in our house. I could see people, okay, we used to have a car. My dad was privileged to be one of those guys, even when there were no cars. My dad had those small Ford cars, you know, those old ones. And I liked it. But it was not a modern car, so to speak. So we always wanted to have something better. And Dad says, no. You can have yours. I remember one time we came from home in Ushago, and the car was moving very slowly, right? 90 kilometers per hour. When you move more than 80 kilometers per hour, the car is moving, you know, it is shaking everywhere. So I told my dad when we arrived at the house, I said, Dad, you know, that was a good ride, right? But the car was moving very slowly. You know what my dad told me? My dad told me, buy yours. I was like, oh my goodness me, how would you tell me that, Dad? I said, you know what? I'll buy mine. And I began working out. So the point is, I wanted to be a great man when I was young. So I caught vision early. Sometimes you don't know exactly what that is, but if it's within you, it will find a place. It's just like water. When water is moving, it is in a flow, it's flowing in a certain direction. Because of the slope, you may not know exactly where it's going, but because you have a purpose, you just need to direct that purpose. So I knew I'd be a great man. So I adopted the aspect of vision, understanding where I'm going. And then I began to pray for God to give me direction and show me where to go. And before I knew, God was shaping my thoughts, bringing people around me who are in entrepreneurship, who are doing business, and then I realized, wow, this is what I want to be. And then I got here in a few months, I had several years of employment, and I was not satisfied. And I was feeling, there must be something better. I remember one of my bosses I had, I really like him because he gave me a job, my first job, my second job in auditing. But the guy was too tough for no reason. You know, sometimes employers can be tough, but sometimes that toughness needs to be channeled down. I think employers sometimes we overdo it, right? Which is not good. And my boss then was overdoing it. So I thought, no, life can be better. Honestly, no, life can be better. So one day I woke up and I said, you know what, enough is enough. And I went. I never even gave my resignation letter. I left. I just left. I was tired. I mean, you cannot give me too much unnecessary pressure because there's a level to which you can take it. When you push a man to the wall, he will react somehow, right? Mine was like, let me just leave this thing. It's not working for me. Let me leave. And I think that was the birthing of my entrepreneurship. Part of it. That was part of it. And then the other thing is around diligence. There's a scripture like in the Bible, it's in the book of Proverbs. It says, see if a diligent man, he will not stand before mean men, but he shall stand before great men. Diligence teaches you how to be meticulous in what you do. You know what you're doing, you produce the best, you put your hands into work. Diligence does not allow you to be lazy. When you're diligent, you know when to wake up. And you don't wait for people to wake you up. The sun should not wake up. I always say for many years, the sun should not wake up before you. Welcome the sun. Why should the sun be asking you why you are sleeping? You should be the one saying, oh sun, welcome to this world. But the sun finds you asleep. And you're like, oh my God, what do we do? In other words, the thing is, when you are diligent and you want the best. You work hard, you work smart, you keep at it, you don't give up because you know what you're doing. So diligent people are bound to go places because someone is always watching. There's always someone watching. Whether it's your business, whether it's your work, there's always someone watching what you do. So you're diligent in what you're doing, someone is always seeing. And that seeing bears fruit with time.
No, I absolutely love what you're saying. And I'm hearing two things. You've talked about vision and you just concluded it at diligence. And I love what you said about conceptualizing. That vision should make sure that you are seeing it in your hands.
Yes.
You are seeing the possibility of it becoming.
Yes.
And now what you see, you put discipline.
Yes.
And consistency.
Correct.
Into it.
Exactly.
I love that because I think part of the thing that most of the people are missing now is the aspect of building consistently. Is the aspect of staying at it.
Yes.
Is the aspect of, following it through with boldness and making sure that you stick to it.
I like what you said, following it through with boldness. The word follow through is one which we are, most of us found wanting. Because you see, the consistency to follow through is what bears fruits. That consistency. Because most of the opportunities that come your way, they come your way when you become to keep on knocking that door. When you knock a door for a long time, that door one point of time opens up. But nowadays I see people giving up so quickly. You call me, I don't pick your phone call. Then you're like, call me twice, thrice. You're like, this guy does not pick his phone calls, you stop calling me. Did you know where I was? I might have been at a board meeting the whole day, 6 hours, seated there, and then you will go, oh, this guy does not pick a phone call. That's not consistency. Consistency says, he doesn't pick a phone call today, I send an SMS, right? He doesn't pick a phone call tomorrow, I give him a chat. By the time you do it, remember in the Bible, there's this story Jesus gives about this woman. This woman was like, oh, then wake up, give me justice. The judge said, let me give justice to this woman, lest he does what? He wears me. Nowadays, we give up so quickly when we're just about to. And that's it. Consistency says, keep on knocking the door until it opens up.
And it's quite interesting because, I look back at how we met.
Yes.
And it's about going to almost 15 years now.
Yeah.
And from the walls of church.
Yes.
And building consistently on a friendship.
Yeah.
And making sure that, I think we used to meet twice a week.
Yeah, twice a
7
week.
a.m.
7 a.m. in the morning.
Building on this for quite a number of years.
Correct.
From an idea until about 2 years ago, we put this together.
Correct.
And look at where we are now, impacting the lives of young entrepreneurs and making sure that we are not only putting knowledge and wisdom in their hands, but we are actually showing them the way. And I think the story of Brookwise and to how we've come into being is one of building with consistency.
Correct.
Because we chose to do something even when things were not clear.
Correct.
Even when resources were not there. But we knew where we wanted to end up.
Sure.
We knew where we wanted to build to.
Yes.
And hence, that's why we're here today.
Sure.
So I absolutely love that. And I think everyone, it's something we really drove from. It's something we drove from.
Yeah. I think, Titus, it's sad that nowadays people want really things. People don't build nowadays. And the young people that we are having right now, one of the skill that I would say that it's lacking is absence of staying. The ability to stay on. The ability to stay on, even when things are not working. Because remember, the best things are built under pressure. Diamond is built under pressure. The best things come out from pressure. But if you don't take in pressure, you don't develop muscles to stay on and to wait, nothing will come out. We built our project, and I was sharing someone earlier on today. From inception 2009, we did our construction 2021. That's around 11 years. Doing one thing. Doing one thing. Today, tomorrow. Today, do you remember the word says, this one thing I do. Sometimes we're going to do one thing and do it successfully. Because at times when you do many things, then you lose focus. Focus is a bit to narrow down to reduce your options. When you reduce down your options, then you are said to have focus. So focus is a bit of reducing your options into one. So when you are focused into this one thing you do, then you're going to succeed. You're going to succeed. Yeah.
Fantastic. And as we take in some questions, which we will do in a minute or so, there's a point where it started about building a system around you. I love the aspect of this one thing that I do. Thank you so much. And we will get to this in a minute.
Yes.
This one thing that you do, how do you make sure that you build a system around you that governs your consistency, that governs your excellence, that makes sure you're not going off the rails, but at the same time, you're not slackening off. You're doing it just.
Exactly. First of all, the first thing to do in business is understand your business model. One of the things I've noticed is in the marketplace, people are confusing their business models. You have to adopt a business model that works for you. And you see, the market has many options around it, but what works for you? That's one thing you should know. Because again, competition will eat you from all corners. And it's the one who stands out and it's the one who stands out who resists what they call the temptation to be like the others. Remember, you're only unique by doing what is different. Sometimes you want to conform, but conformity is not uniqueness. Right? You are unique by what you uniquely do in your business. So the idea here is your business model must be very well defined. Don't conform to other business models you see around you, because competition will eat you up. If you want to disrupt, then you must be different from the rest. And if you learn your business model and document your business model, the documented business model now gives you the ability to attack the competition and attack the market in the way you want it to. So the ability to be effective in the marketplace and have a system that works for you depends on how unique is your business model in what you do. That helps. Like, look, for example, for us, we're doing wind energy. There are companies that are doing geothermal, which is very good. But we have realized where we are right now, if we do wind energy, it works for us because of our location. Others have location for geothermal. Others are focusing on solar. So it's your business model. So we made on the business model around wind, so we can make sure we're good on wind. So when you're discussing with turbine manufacturers, we know what to go for. So the business model you adopt helps you to be very unique and have a system around what you want to produce. Because again, it guides you on how to go about it.
Fantastic. And you know, I've seen this in play. In what I do in my other life, with other people that I work with. I've seen this in play. And when we work on our strategy, there are 4 key things that we anchor our growth on. And when we make strategy, we try to look at these 4 key things. And number 1, we look at growth. And you know how we define strategy? Is ideally it's what we are choosing to do, because we need to be very clear on what we are going after. Secondly, that informs what we are choosing not to do. So what have we deliberately decided that this is not in our line of sight? And thirdly is how we allocate resources. Because resources are finite.
Exactly.
And for that, we want to answer the question, is it growing? Is it moving the needle? Is it helping us to move from A to B? Secondly, is it sustainable? Because we've been in business for 47 years.
Wow.
And the people I work with, they were actually the people who laid down the railway in the country all those many years ago. And when you look at the owners of capital, we happen to sit with them in a table. Thirdly, we look at, you've talked about being different. And for us, we look at differentiation. And how we look at this is how do you set yourself apart from the market? How do you set yourself apart from competition? And not only that, how are you different from who you were yesterday? So ideally, we are looking at, last year we were working on this. 2 years ago, we were working on this. But we've grown. We've come from leaps and bounds. So how are we different from who we were 5 years ago, 2 years ago? And then thirdly, the people we work with. How do we make sure that the people in our workforce, the people we work with, are not just an enabler, but they are a strategic engine? Because Charles, and we'll talk about it in a minute, you need people who are caught on your vision.
I agree. If
you have, they say one bad apple, it actually spoils the whole basket. But before we get into that, allow us to really look at this question. And really it's talking about...
Before you say that, before we look at that question, there's something you mentioned that is very important. The people who work with. And that means, number 1, you have a group of people who have bought your vision. I feel the work of, and I was telling my friends yesterday this, the work of the visionary. Because once you start building a business, you have got up the vision. So you own the vision.
Yes.
So the work of a visionary is, number one, you must sell your vision clearly to people.
Yes.
Your people must understand the vision. So who does that? Is a visionary. So you have to sell that vision very well. Let there be clarity. Then number two, you must, after selling your vision, you must ensure that you raise people who have caught your vision.
That's true.
Then those who have caught your vision now will sell your vision to the rest of the people. Because you cannot be everywhere. You get a vision, so you dream first as an entrepreneur, as the owner of the vision. You've dreamt your business. First point, ideation, right? You have the idea for the business. Is a media company, have the idea, how do you want the business to look like? So you you form that idea. So you vision, you bathing your vision. Secondly, you have to articulate the vision, sell it very clearly. Articulation of the vision. Number three is selling that vision to people who can disseminate the same vision to others. Then now you can sit. Because now you have a vision, you have people, now those people can deliver. You pay them, make them motivated, now they sell your vision. Either marketers, managers. Yeah. But before you say what you want to say, something else you mentioned is very important before we do what we want to do. You say product differentiation. You see, product differentiation is what causes you to stand out. It's your niche in your market. Product differentiation creates your market niche. So if you have no differentiation in your product, then that means you have no niche. Right? And product differentiation, what does at the end of the day, it helps you create your brand loyalty. Because you differentiate, your product is nice, people like it. When they like it, it causes them to keep on coming back. Now when people keep on coming back to your product, then you buy what you call what? Product. You get now what you call product loyalty. So even when customers, even when competition eats and they find products, people are very loyal to your product, then they're like, why are these guys not changing, right? What is the problem? I have my good product, because sometimes the reason why competition sometimes fails in a market is because you found a company that had a very good brand loyalty. You come into that market, you don't show them a reason why they should do product shift. Then because there's no product shift, you give up. So, and again, it's because when you build product differentiation, giving you product loyalty, you keep on serving clients very well, they like it. Then now, when people want to eat you up in the market in terms of competition, they find you cannot be denied your market.
Exactly. And just to add on to that, one of the key things that have led to our growth in the recent years is that last year, about 2 years ago, we realized that we cannot go at this alone. And people really talk about competition.
Yes.
But if you build it right, you rise above competition. And we started this model of working with strategic partners. So we don't only look at our customers as our customers. We look at them as partners. And partners in the sense, we don't want just you to access the commodity or the product that you're making. But you are our partner. We should get it, we should make sure that it's available to you. It's easily available to you. And you get it with speed. And we do this in a number of countries around East Africa. And this product, we make sure that it's growing you as a business. Because we want to learn, who are you selling it to? What are they doing it to? What are they doing with it? And how can we make sure that we are growing your onward network? And this has brought growth in leaps and bounds. So what we realize, it's not only about going wider, it's also about going deeper in terms of deepening the relationships that you have. Charles, you have PPAs agreements, whether it's with government and with people, and if you don't sit at your boardrooms and have conversations that are, progressing growth for you and for them, surely that will not continue.
That's true. I agree.
But you need to make sure that as you're growing, the people that you're serving, they are also growing.
And I think we will bring in a very good aspect of growing the existing customer, expand your customer base internally. Because at times you go for that customer is far away. You want to reach a different customer. But you're forgetting there's this customer who has been buying the goods for you. So the question is, why can they, if they bought 100,000, why can we do the same visit to the same customer? We grow to 150, from 150, we get 200,000. Growing the customer and maintaining the customer. And I like, because I like what other companies have done. Many companies have learned the art of growing the already existing customer, which is very, very important because you already have a customer loyalty. So grow that customer.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. No, I like that we really talked about building the system.
Yeah.
You make sure that you sell the vision.
Yes.
And that you have other ambassadors who are taking care of the business.
Exactly.
You know, take care of your people and they will take care of what you love.
That's right.
And they will take care of these customers that we are talking about.
Yes. Yeah, and pay them well.
And pay them well. That's a very interesting point.
Yeah, pay them well.
But comes in a challenge of funding, which has been raised here. You know, we look at how do we source for funding.
Yes.
And the question that we have is how do we advise entrepreneurs on raising capital when the problem is capital? And you know, they've tried security funding without success.
Yes.
So how do we tackle this funding issue and how do they scale from it?
The funding issue is a very big one. I think it's the elephant in the room, especially for young entrepreneurs. And not only young entrepreneurs, also for mature entrepreneurs. Because you look for money to expand your product, you look for money to expand your business, you want to have a new product line, and you're also looking at how do I tap into much more money. But at times, there are ways we can grow with what we have. I think the notion that funding is the millions of dollars is what has caused us to really focus much more on funding. But you can grow internally, bootstrapping. You can grow bit by bit. You know, the small money you pay, you just save a bit, increase your brand, right? But if it comes to funding of big projects and funding to expand what you may call a product line, the challenge around that comes in, it has a different facets to it, and I will mention one. People don't fund good ideas, and I've said that before. Yes, good ideas deserve to be funded, but most likely than not, good ideas are not funded. Because people fund good people. People fund people. So it's the people who get funded. So the first thing the entrepreneur or the lender looks at is, who am I giving this money? They do a due diligence on you. They want to know, what have you done before? What is your training? What's your background? Do you understand the industry? Because again, we want to do, for example, I want to set up an hospital, but I have no hospital background. And I go to a guy to give me $50,000 or to give me $50 million. Then the lender looks at me and says, okay, right, this is a very good idea, I like it. But what background do you have in medical? I have no medical background. So the lender looks at you and says, good idea, but this guy is a risk. I give you money, tomorrow is gone. I ask you if the money go, you can't even tell. Because you don't understand. So lenders fund people who understand what they are doing. Be knowledgeable in what you want the lender to lend you. Number one, if you do one lending on energy, you better have some background on energy. If you want lending in agriculture, have very good knowledge in agriculture. Sell me those products. Sell me the grapes. Show me how you understand about grapes. You must understand, you should understand the industry which you are in very well. If the funder has to give you money. That's number one. Then demonstrate to the funder or to the lender that there is a very good market in the product. Because again, at times we go to ask for funding, but we do not show the lender that there is an opportunity. We don't show that opportunity to the lender. The lender does not see. He doesn't see the opportunity. So you must magnify the problem, because what problem are we solving? Because they know the bigger the problem we solve, then the larger the money. Because if the problem is huge, I know there's a potential. So the lender should see there is here a good problem. So he goes like, wow, I like the problem.
Exactly.
Because you paid for solving problems, right? So the lender puts money to solve a problem. So if he sees the problem he's solving, he says, wow, needs to be funded. So the lender should see that problem very well. Then there was this lender that this money when it comes, I have the skill to keep it. Do you have the team?
It's true. Exactly.
Lenders like teams. They don't like lending to individual. They'll ask you, do you have a financial accountant who will keep books? Do you have a financial model? How does the money look like in the next 10 years? Have you envisaged your business in the next 10 years? They ask you for a business plan. What do you have? Can I see what other projections look like? Right? Then they also want to understand, do you know the competition? Because the moment, and I have had this many times in Titus, when a lender asks you, who is your competition? You think that the lender wants to take away, to run away, and when you mention competition, he wants to take over and say, this guy thinks that competition is too much. The lender wants to know, do you understand the risks in your industry? What is the threat in the industry? SWOT analysis. What is your strength?
It's true.
Do you understand the strength of business? Do you understand the weaknesses of the business?
It's true.
What are the risks? So when the lender is asking you, have you done your competition analysis? It's not asking you so that you can understand, so that you can see that the competition will kill you. No, he wants to know that you understand the industry in where you are. The moment he realizes you understand, he knows, okay. So when competition comes in, you have a way to safeguard it. You have a way to mitigate the risks and the challenges that come with competition. So many factors and many issues come with lending.
True. I couldn't agree more with what you're saying because I work with a company where we are about 1,500 of us in terms of the people that we work with.
That's a huge one.
Building a system that makes sure that 1, 2, 3, 1,500 people are doing exactly what they need to do to make sure that from manufacturing process A all the way to Z, everything is in place. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of time. And in the past couple of years, our CEO has been building it right in terms of the team. So how do we make sure we have the right person in finance?
Yes.
We have the right person in HR.
Correct.
We have the right person in production.
Yes.
Because what we did and what we found out is that, I don't know if people know this, but the Maasai community in TZ is bigger than Kenya. In fact, Kenya is just a fraction.
No, you're not kidding us.
So we boast as though we have the Maasai community, but it's nothing compared to what is in TZ. So we realized this about 2 years ago. And we said, how do we attack this? Because one of our premium products is a Maasai shuka. So
the shuka that I have several of them.
No, you have several.
That's a premium product for you guys?
That's a premium.
Wow, this is interesting. Yani vile najipanga nayo shoots your product.
The one that you use for your throat.
Yes.
It's a cash cow for us.
Wow.
And we realized that the Maa community in TZ is actually bigger. And they are more demanding because they know what they want. They absolutely know what they want. I don't know if you know this, but you know, Maasai community, they have different colors in terms of the Maasai shuka that they wear.
But I thought they only like red.
No. In fact, the olden guys, they prefer blue. So this is what we realized.
I'm saying in blue. Yes. That's a new one, right? They like red and white.
So once we realized, for us to tackle that market, it's taken effort of about 2 years to make sure that we get the right funding to build this.
Wow.
As we speak right now,
Yes.
we made an investment of about 200 million to get new machines from a different country, ship them in so that we can not only bridge the gap that we have in terms of what the market is requiring, but to satisfy what that community needs.
So that's a new product. That's a new product line.
That's a new product line, and that's an expansion of what we have. And all this came about because of exactly what you're saying. Building the right systems, having the right people on your team, making sure that you're building it right, because no one is waiting to hand you 2 million
I agree.
to ship some machines somewhere to make sure that you build this right.
Yes.
And as we close, this is something that I have learned. And I love what you're sharing. in terms of how do you build systems
Yes.
that govern and make sure that you're on the right path. And probably, I know, Charles, we can go on, and maybe we'll take one or two more questions.
2 more questions, that's right.
But allow me to ask this.
Yes.
If you were to advise someone who is starting,
Yes.
how do they start right? How do they make sure that, as they step on this idea of building a business, growing a business, that you're building on the right foundation when you're starting?
Titus, sometimes starting right is a tough one. Starting right sometimes does not feel right. You need to study the market. If you need to start right, the first thing you must do is what you call marketing research. Because the marketing research that you do will demonstrate to you where the need is and whether there's actually a need. Because at times you jump into a business because that idea sounds very good in your mind. But the question is there a need? At times we rush to business just because of hype. How scalable is it? Number one. How sustainable is it? Number two. Is it a business for 2 years or 6 months or 2 months? Because there are seasons in business. So you want to sell flowers just because of hype of Valentine. And you're like, wow, because you made some 20,000 per a few bouquets of flowers, you feel that now this can sustain business. But the question is this, how sustainable is it? Where do you locate your business? In terms of competition, I look at this competition. Ideation. How is this idea? In terms of the market, what size of market can your idea serve? Number three, let's not rush into business. The marketing research what does for you is it helps you understand the actual, in terms of numbers, of demand. Because you're not looking at a market and saying, these people will sell my products. There's something I mentioned earlier about brand loyalty. One time, I forgot to mention this. One time I made a small business to sell beauty shop. It was a beauty shop. So we were selling a lot of weaves and wigs and these beauty products for women. So where we located the shop was just in town, along Munywoki Avenue. And we felt because we are new here, guys will now come in and buy from our shop. But far from it. Because when you are new, people don't know you. But we tend to think in our minds, when we set up a shop somewhere, people just come immediately and buy our things. Far from it. I had a butcher at one point of time. I've had so many businesses, guys, so no one. I had a butcher one time, and let me say this. I did a butcher. I forgot to mention this. And that is the time when I was trying to transition actually from business to business very well. I remember that was back 2001, 2005, 2006, some other, 2004. So I went to Kawa West, but I was staying in Karen. Mistake number one.
Set it up in West.
Exactly. In Kawa West, because of numbers of people, right? But where was I staying? In Karen. How am I just going to Lunyu? I mean, who advised me? They get a tour from Lunyu and set up shop in Lunyu. But I went to Kawa West because a friend of mine told me, we have numbers in Kawa West. And that is so true. Numbers are there. But this was my mistake. The butcher was very well. It was nice. The lighting was spot on, right? When you see the butcher in the evening, it was looking nice. The lighting was good. The windows were very nice. Well lit at night. It was very good. However, I forgot one thing. I never got the deep freezer because I didn't have enough capital. So number one, you must have enough capital when you're setting up a business. So do research, get to know exactly how much you need, have enough money for your business. I didn't have enough. So I said, with this small I have, let me start somewhere. But I began far. Then I said, I'm starting today. The day I opened the butcher, I said, I'm starting with 50 kilos. Who does that? That's a lot. That's a lot. But I thought this is the market. There's no butchery better than mine. So this is the day that the Lord has made. I will make good money. They will see what I do. So I set up a business, a butchery there. Let me tell you, the first day, I assumed these guys who are working, they will not see this new shop, and this new butchery, and they just come in. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let me shock you. 50 kilos. Day one, I only sold 1 kilo. 1 kilo. And remember, meat inspection.
Yes.
You have no deep freezer. The second day, I had to give that nyama. Because I remember the second day I sold almost half a kilo, 3/4.
What?
I gave away. Then this permission, boss, you want some meat? Here it is. I gave out. Because imagine a whole 47 kilos in a shop on the third day without a deep freezer. What's that like?
Yeah.
You will lose it. You know, it will be smelling everywhere.
Yes, definitely.
But you see, I learned about brand loyalty. You know, when you go to a butcher, alafu unakuta waka knife. You know, waka knife is there with a knife and he's cutting meat. It is not only meat he's selling.
Yes.
It is a relationship that you've had with this guy for quite some time. When he sees you, he knows what nyama you like. And that's why he'll call you by your name. So I didn't know this. So brand loyalty is one that has caused most entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, give up so quickly because you have money or you have capital to work you for 1 week. Then you realize my products are not being bought. So what happens? You give up. So when you're about to open a business, I would advise young entrepreneurs, have enough capital that can run you for barely, minimum 6 months. 6 months. Be at it today, next month. Plan on a working capital that for 6 months will sustain you. Don't rely on yourself because you may have zero on the 3rd month. And if that is what you're relying on to make money, and we have made these mistakes, I personally have been part of that. I've made such many mistakes. I think because I know you, Titus, as my good friend, you'll come to my shop tomorrow. But I forget Titus, he's having his own guy who supplies it.
Yes.
And therefore, you will not ship to my business immediately. You will give it. And then also people don't trust you. People don't trust new businesses. So young entrepreneurs, one thing we should know is we don't trust you, and that's the reality. We don't know who you are. You need to tell us who you are. We need to understand where you coming from. We've not seen you before. We may merge to like this, like that. So we need to see where are you coming from, who are you, we test you, then now we realize, he's a good guy. Be nice to people. Because business, what attracts people, sometimes is not a product. And we lose on this. What attracts people in most of these new things that we do, most of the times, is not the product. You could have a good product, but if you're not nice to people, will not buy the product. I've been a salesperson. I've sold many things. And I've sold something that was not very well. But because I was nice, the customer says, I'll buy this. But if you want the product to speak for you, it can only speak for you to a certain level. People buy things because of relationships. So you have to build that relationship in your business, and that will give you now what you may call a leap to grow in your business.
Exactly. I think that's a really good point to bring this to a close.
Yes.
Because how do you make sure that you build this leap? Is the relationships that you're building.
You're building, correct.
And you build these relationships, by researching right, getting the right information.
Yes.
And the last question that we had was talking about how do you build it without having prior experiences, without having nothing to grow from.
Yes.
But I like what you said about how do you do the right research. How do you make sure that what you're building is right?
Yes.
It is a concept we learned about design thinking.
Same thinking, yes.
So how do you make sure that you're building, you're testing in the market, and you are iterating? And you're using those learnings to plow them back into the business.
Correct.
So that you're building right.
Correct.
And I think this is exactly what we aim to do here.
Yes.
Making sure that we are giving the right platform, the right foundation to entrepreneurs who come ideally to learn with us, to walk the journey with us.
And let me mention this, Titus. Another problem and another pressure point I've seen among young entrepreneurs is the pressure to start just like your neighbor. You've seen your neighbor has begun, and then you feel the pressure to start as well. It's a pressure point. And those pressure points are not nice because you make decisions quickly because you don't want to be left out. We always keep on comparing ourselves, most of the time silently, because you're feeling like Titus has begun and to start as well. So the ability to manage the pressure, not to start. Not starting this time. The pressure not to start. waiting for the right time, which the right time could be in terms of capital, to be in terms of feel now you understand the industry, you know where you need to go, you've done a good marketing research, and now you're like, I've got all the information I need, the marketing, and I know what to do. Because you also need to know, how do you do it the first day? How do I launch the product? Because our launching itself is important. And you've seen different people do different launch of products. Maybe inviting guys to come in and build them. There are many ways to launch a product. So the ability to defend the pressure not to start is a very, very good one to manage in this era, in this day and era.
Fantastic. And Charles, you're almost starting a different topic.
Yeah. Oh,
and I
okay.
think we bring it to a close right here.
So,
how do you position yourself in the market? And that's where we end it at.
Yes.
Because how do you make sure that you are launching right as you're saying, and you have to have that discipline of I don't need to start now.
Yes.
When Charles is starting, sure, my timing will come, and I need to be prepared for when my time comes.
Yes.
And I think that's where we started from.
Next time. Yeah.
So it's been an amazing one. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
We've had our fun, and I hope we are all learning and we are growing. And until the next one.
Thank you very much, Titus. May God bless you.